welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. It is good to be back with my co-host, J.D. Sharp. We had to take a few days off. You know, we deserve vacation time once in a while. We got a lot of basketball to get to in hour number 2. We're going to get to all that.
Well, I mean, I've attended 120 straight shows. I've been on time every time. I've never missed one.
That's definitely
I needed a little break. It had to happen.
Yeah, you're a liar, just like William Rick Singer, the ringleader of this admission scandal. We'll take a few more calls on this. Then I want to get to Tucker Carlson, who was just a piece of garbage. We will talk about that coming up. 257-5396. Robert, you've been waiting patiently on hold. How are you?
What's up, Robert?
Robert, are you there? Bobby?
Hello, Bobby.
Okay, we lost Robert. Sorry, Robert. Call back. That means we have a phone line open, though. 257-5396. Let's go to Bo. Bo, thanks for calling in. How are you, Bo?
I'm here. I'm good.
Good.
What's up, buddy?
Well, I just have a question. I mean, I'm not for or against Tucker Carlson, but I wonder how come it sounds like maybe you don't like him or disagree with his opinions or his comments, and you call him a scumbag. Why can't you just say I disagree with what he stands for?
No. I think anyone who refers to women, especially in a public forum like on the radio, calling them the C word, anybody who sexual degrading comments towards the 2007 Miss Teen USA contestant, and anyone who basically makes fun of a child who was sexually abused is a scumbag. I'm not going to just be nice and say, you know what? I don't agree with Tucker.
I haven't heard those comments from him.
Well, you know what?
Of course, I don't watch him.
Okay, well, I'm not making this up. Please take me for my word. It's all over the internet. There's audio of it, Bo. I promise you, Bo, on the life of my family. I'm not making this up. Okay, these are words that he said. They're on the radio. Okay, he said it on the radio with this guy, Bubba the Love Sponge, who's a wannabe Howard Stern. I've met him before. Okay, he said these things, and this wasn't behind closed doors, Bo. Okay, this wasn't a private conversation. If it was a private conversation, you'd say, ooh, that's bad, but hey, it was a private. He said this on the radio on a nationally syndicated show.
I think he was trying to fit in with this Howard Stern-like character.
Yeah, well,
if he said those things, yeah. I agree. To me, that's really bad.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, Bo, because I promise you I'm not calling him a scumbag for any other reason but that. I might not agree with his politics, Bo, but you can't call a woman the C word, especially, even worse, in a public forum on a radio show and be on MSNBC at the time and expect not to take flack for that. I don't care if it was 50 years ago. Anyway, we're talking about Tucker Carlson. We're also talking about this situation with this college admissions scandal. But yeah, Tucker said a lot of dumb things. Let's go to JD. JD, thanks for calling in. How are you?
What's up, JD?
Hey, I didn't think I'd miss you two guys.
Well, I guess you did miss us a little bit then, JD, huh?
I wasn't going to call on this topic, and I don't normally criticize other callers, but I do have to respond to the woman, Sandy.
Okay.
For her to question Trump's youngest daughter in college as to not being smart, and when you say that she spoke well, and for her to say she's groomed and just not smart, and then to go on and criticize the rest of the family, including I wish you could play the tape back, including the rest of the grandkids.
And criticizing Barron was unnecessary because Barron's 13 years old.
Look,
let me finish, please. Being groomed to be the same as Trump, racist and such. This is a hateful woman to disparage an entire family, which she knows nothing about.
All right, JD, hang on. I understand where you're coming from. First of all, to be clear, that's an assumption. She made an assumption that I am not going to make. What I said...
It was a heck of a stretch.
Yeah, what I said is it wouldn't surprise me if Donald Trump did, throw a lot of money at a university to get a family member.
I understand that, Brian, but she threw the whole family in jail.
Okay, I hear you.
Obama's oldest daughter goes to Harvard. Mm-hmm. What would happen if I said, "Oh, who knows how she got into Harvard? Obama's father was a communist. What do we know about Obama's this, that, and the other?" That is where this woman is coming from.
All right.
And you provided no filter. You didn't question on her.
I get a lot of idiots that call in and say a lot of ridiculous things on the left and the right.
You normally push back, and she's a despicable woman.
Well, hey, JD, it was actually the end of it was right before breaks. He didn't really have a chance to say anything.
Well, look, here's the bottom line. We don't know.
No.
It's a hypothetical.
Just because Tiffany Trump has private school education and probably a good tutor, and she's been groomed, doesn't mean she's stupid. And there's nothing wrong with developing intelligence through that. So, yeah, I thought her statement was totally off base and had nothing behind it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We don't know the answer to that. It's a hypothetical. All I'm saying is it wouldn't surprise me. Like it wouldn't surprise me if Barack Obama donated a lot of money to a university.
But all the Trump kids handle themselves very, very well in front of a camera.
Well, Don Jr. is a complete moron, so I disagree with you 150% on that one. Don Jr. is an idiot. Okay, he is a moron, and he might find himself behind bars. I've never said that about Barron, a young kid. I know nothing about him. But Don Jr. says dumb things and idiotic things every single day.
Or Don Jr.'s 5 kids.
Well, I'm not going to talk about his 5 kids. I'm talking about Don Jr. He's a complete buffoon as far as I'm concerned. So's the My Pillow guy. Does he not advertise? I hope he doesn't advertise on this show. He says Donald at the CPAC thing, the My Pillow guy, who, by the way, is a fraud. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, those pillows I've tried one of them. There's nothing special about those pillows. He's a fraud.
Wait, is this Ron Popeil?
He gets on the CPAC and he goes, Donald Trump was elected president because of God. This is what this pillow idiot says. Anyway, getting off topic. Let's go to Scott. Scott, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. How are you?
What's up, Scott?
Good. 2 things. Number one, these are private institutions. So if you take somebody like a Harvard, Stanford, Yale, not like we just in layman terms, not every basketball player that goes to those schools has like a 4.45 GPA. If you're just a regular schmo, the average GPA to get into Stanford is about a 4.45.
Yeah, totally understand, but they actually have something called athletic ability, and I'm sure you will agree these kids didn't even play sports, many of these kids, and it was all falsified.
Well, and
correct.
Right.
Right.
But there's also, things as special admits. So, I mean, they are private universities. A school like USC.
Right.
No, you're right.
They can do what they want.
They have a 3.75.
Yes.
Yep, we can take them over because their last name is Kennedy.
So,
right.
No, you're right, Scott. You're absolutely right. 2 things. I'll respond to what you just said. Number one, we're talking about fraud. You would agree with that. These parents committed fraud. This guy, Singer, committed fraud. Number 2, you're right. There are special exceptions, and I don't agree with those special exceptions. Are they against the law? No, they're not. But you have to admit, when a guy like Kushner, his father, donates $2.5 million to Harvard, Kushner's not a Harvard guy. He shouldn't be going to Harvard. His grades weren't good enough.
Yeah, I mean, until you see the SAT or their actual high school GPA, you don't know. But I always give the example, like the 3 of us could be brilliant chemists, right, and apply to Duke and not get in.
You know, Brian's dad is actually a former chemist.
He actually is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, somebody like Zion Williamson, he might be brilliant, but you know, how much money does he bring the university?
A ton.
Millions?
Yeah, a ton.
Yeah. The average kid who goes to Duke and is a chemist, he's bringing how much to the university? Zero.
Especially.
You don't go to see somebody go to be a
I agree, and I understand in a way it's a business, Scott, and I appreciate the call, by the way. Good call.
I think you're going to see players eventually getting paid.
But I understand what Scott's saying. But look, these college athletes, they're athletes. They have ability. Okay, they have something to offer the university, and they get free education in return. But these kids, this nitwit, this chick Olivia, who I played the video, who says, "Well, I just want to party. I just want to party. I just want to have fun. About class, I don't think I want to go to class. I just want to have fun." And her parents are donating $500,000 so she gets into USC. It's a disgrace. USC, whoever was involved in this, you should be ashamed of yourself. These parents should be ashamed of themselves. Your daughter is a Nimrod, and it's because of you. It's your fault. Let's go to Stan. Stan, thanks for calling in. How are you? Oh, God, we lost Stan. He must be trying to get one of his kids into admissions. I don't know. 257-5396, 702-257-5396. If you want to be a part of the program, let's go to Chuck. Chuck, thanks for calling in. How are you?
What's up, Chuck?
Yeah, I want to hear from both you guys on the the fraud, right? That's what's going on here. So my son on the MCAT test, he had higher scores than 4 other guys, and they got in because of their ethnicity.
Yeah.
So how is that not a fraud?
I agree. And Chuck, I started the show by talking about.
He did.
Chuck, I started the show by talking about affirmative action because I bring that into this, Chuck, and I don't agree with affirmative action. I don't.
I'm sorry, I must have come in late.
No, that's okay, Chuck. Look, I'll be very simple when it comes to this, and I know JD agrees with me on this because he experienced this himself.
I did.
And he'll give you that story. If you are a straight A student and you have extracurriculars and you're white, and let's just say hypothetically an African American has a B average with no extracurriculars, I don't want that person getting in because of their skin color. I've never been for affirmative action. I never will. If we all want to be treated as equals in this country, let's stop the nonsense, Chuck. So I'm sorry that happened to your kids. JD went through something similar. Chuck, go ahead, JD.
Hey, what school did he apply at?
at New Mexico in Albuquerque.
Yeah, so I was turned down from Pepperdine coming out of high school due to my ethnicity. And it's actually kind of a hindrance to be the majority ethnicity, or at least it has been the last 25 years in regards to the next level education, which is very interesting.
That's got to tick you off, Chuck, as a father. You know, your kids work really hard, which I would imagine they do, work hard to get into a specific university, and you're told, nope, you're not going in because of someone's skin color. We got to choose them over you. That's got to piss you off, because I know it would tick me off.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I got on the FBI thing, did they have to do that dynamic entry thing? Can they get them at the mailbox?
That I am not sure. I'm not 100% on that. I don't want to give misinformation on the air. I'm just not sure about that, Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Good show, guys.
All right. Thanks, Chuck.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks,
the
Chuck.
call. God, that just gets me angry. Here's a guy who's probably a really good father who's trying to get his kid into a university, and he's told, nope, we got this kid because of the skin color or race. I don't agree with that. Just like I don't agree with Jared Kushner's father donating $2.5 million to Harvard, and then Jared all of a sudden gets in. I don't agree with that either. I want everyone on an equal playing field. Everyone. And I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that happened. It happens to people all over the country. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You work hard in this country. You're told all the time, right? The cliches, right? Work hard. You know, things are going to be all right. You're going to get what you want if you work hard. If you work hard in school.
Unless the government's meeting a quota.
Yeah, unless you're against someone of a different race, or unless
you're in trouble.
Unless you're against actress Lori Loughlin's kid, then you're in trouble because they're just going to donate.
I have to think she was probably a C student, maybe even a D student.
She sounds like a complete moron.
I mean, she may not have graduated high school.
Yeah, and it's funny how she's talking about partying and all that, and she's 17, 18 years. She's not even old enough to drink. Yeah, I tell you, Lori Loughlin and Massimo Ganulli, who I guess is a fashion designer.
Yeah, Massimo.
You must be very, very proud of your kids.
I used to own Massimo stuff when I was at junior high.
You must be really, really proud of your professional rowing daughter. What a bunch of nitwits. 257-5396. Let's go to Paul. Paul, thanks for calling in. How are you, Paul?
What's up, Paul?
Okay, how you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, Paul. What's on your mind?
Well, about 30 minutes ago, you had some lady calling and talking about Trump's youngest daughter or something.
Yes.
And you guys don't even have you criticized any of the Clinton or Obama kids? And I don't care about the kids, but to talk about his youngest daughter got into some school because she's Trump's kid. Look, the kids have nothing to do with the parents. I'm an idiot. My kid got a free ride scholarship at a college in L.A., and he writes 3 different codes of computers. I can barely turn my computer on. The kid has nothing to do with the parents.
Okay, so first,
and you got you agreed with the kid. The girl's probably an idiot because she's Trump's kid.
Okay, first of all, Paul, that's not what I said. If you're going to quote something,
I'm paraphrasing.
Paul, yes, you are. Let me tell you, paraphrasing is very dangerous, Paul. Let me tell you exactly what I said. Okay, here's what I said.
Is it dangerous for both sides or just?
Are you going to let me? I was going to address that. If you could please let me respond.
Okay,
First of all, in regards to Donald Trump's daughter, I said it wouldn't surprise me, just like it wouldn't surprise me if Barack Obama did the same thing. It wouldn't surprise me.
I didn't hear you mention Barack Obama.
Well, I did. You're not listening. I did. JD, did I not say that about Barack Obama?
Here's the problem. That caller called in. She was the last caller we took on that segment.
Yeah.
So
and she was an idiot.
But he didn't get a chance to respond because we had to go to break.
All I said was that
she was an idiot.
Okay, well, that's fine. I call callers.
And you can have your own opinion on it. That's fine.
I don't have a problem with that.
And you look at Maley and Obama's kids, they're partying, they're going to Coachella. They probably don't have a huge interest in school. You can make the same argument there. I agree.
Here's who I will tell you is an idiot. Okay, Paul, and you might disagree with me, and it is Jared Kushner. I think Jared Kushner
I don't know Jared Kushner.
Okay, well, here's what we do.
He's married to one of Trump's daughters.
Yeah, well, here's what we know about Jared Kushner, okay, in his life. We know his father, the billionaire, tons of money. Here's what Jared Kushner did. He did 2 big things in his business life, and they were both failures, okay? He bought this...
I don't doubt that.
Okay, he bought this...
I'm not a Trump diehard.
I didn't say you were. I think in certain instances you could call a child an idiot, and yes, I think Jared Kushner's an idiot. I also think this girl, Olivia, based on her YouTube videos, is an idiot. I'm not going to call Donald Trump's daughter an idiot. I'm not going to call Ivanka an idiot. I'm not, I think Don Jr.'s an idiot. Nothing to do with going to college. I just think the things he says every day on social media, he's a Nimrod. Now, what I said about Trump in regards to his daughter, and I'll say it again, just so I can be clear, I don't know what happened. That woman who called in, she's guessing. I have no idea. All I said was that it wouldn't surprise me if Trump did that. Same thing about Obama. Wouldn't surprise me if Obama did that. Wouldn't surprise me if the Clintons did that. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Or any wealthy, connected family in the last 150 years in the United States.
See, those colleges have, and I forget what the word is, but if your dad went there, you get basically a free ride.
Which I don't agree.
It's called nepotism.
Yeah, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with that.
That's not the word they use for it, but that's been going on for 300 years at Harvard and Yale.
No, I know. And Paul, I'm just simply saying I don't agree with that. That's all.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't either.
Just like I don't agree with affirmative action.
But it's been going on, so we're not going to stop it with name calling of kids of a president.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think that this whole scandal that took place, Paul, I think it could change some things. I'm hopeful it will.
Oh, I do. I used to work in the Hollywood industry, and I can't stand it because of the crap that goes on.
Yeah.
And this is just if they were to dig deep enough, everybody that's been criticizing Trump for everything he's done
the exact same thing.
I bet you. Yep.
And that's wrong.
You know what's even crazier is the monopoly that companies like Live Nation have on the concert industry. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paula, it's good to hear from you. I appreciate
thanks,
the call.
Paul.
Thank you. I hope I cleared that up. And you're right. She did call close to a break, and we didn't get a good chance to respond to it. I have no idea.
You're taking some serious heat.
No heat at all. Trust me, I can take a little bit. This isn't heat at all. 257-5396, 702-257-5396. I'll tell you who's taking heat. These people that are, in this college admissions scandal. I'll tell you who's taking a lot of heat. Lori Loughlin, who had to. I'll tell you who else is taking heat, though. Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is taking some heat. These are just some horrific things that he said. I don't care if it was last year or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. There's another guy who I would call a scumbag. Not an idiot, a scumbag, a misogynist. It is one thing when you say horrendous things behind closed doors, things that are not recorded. When you say terrible things on the air. He was on a nationally syndicated radio show calling women the C word. He was on a nationally syndicated radio show calling a teenager appealing and stating that she would probably be a pretty good wife. This is a teenager, a 2007 Miss Teen USA contestant. When you make homophobic slurs and racist comments and you're on the air, imagine what Tucker Carlson says behind closed doors. How could anybody defend that? And how could anybody defend this idiot being on the air? Still, 257-5396. Let's go to John. John, thanks for calling in. How are you?
What's up, John?
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
Great.
Well, I just wanted to say, number one, I agree as far as whether it's the parent paying, whether they donate to the university or if they do it under the table, it's obviously bad. But at the same time, I think when you have a university that will, if they set their standards, and if their standards are at whatever the level is as far as SAT, they say, but we're going to make an exception because this person does have athletic ability. I think that waters that whole thing down because, as you said before, that when you let someone in, we're going to lower our standards, let this person in, and we're going to take the seat that somebody else that does have those scores. And they say, well, we're going to do it because it's going to be better for the college. But in there's a parallel. It's really that argument can be made that the person whose father or parents pay the money to build a new wing of a gymnasium or something for a university does the same benefit as having someone with athletic ability. And that's just my comments on that.
Well, it comes down to the question: is second-level education are colleges a business? Do you consider them a business, Brian? Because if they are giving Zion Williamson or athletes like him the opportunity to go to school for free, more or less, is the best investment they can ever make from a business perspective. And so it's not really watering. I don't think it's watering anything down because if they are a business, giving these athletes free education is making them more money in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Does that make sense, John?
Yeah, like I say, it's kind of one of the things that once they, if they're going to have the standard that's like stay on that side of the fence, if that's what you're going to hold to, then we have all these exceptions. If it's on a Tuesday and you do this and do this, then we don't, and then to call foul on the other side. So
right now, when you take an athlete and they're cheating on tests and they're paying people off and they're not actually going to school, but they're not being held to the same standards that an actual student is, that's something totally different. When you're giving an athlete special exceptions and basically committing fraud to keep them in school, that's a real problem.
You know, I was a college athlete, and trust me, I wasn't on the basketball team or the football team. I was on the tennis team and golf team. But you know what? I still got first dibs on classes. I got free tutoring. There were a lot of good things that you could get if you were an athlete, and you got the easiest classes, or at least you could have taken the easiest classes. Of course, that's what I did. But with that, and again, I wasn't on the football or basketball team. But let me be very clear here. And it's an interesting thing that last caller brought up with these athletes. Some of these athletes on the basketball and football program especially are making a lot of money for the university. You could also make the argument that Jared Kushner made money for the university because his father donated $2.5 million. But here's the difference. I believe that college athletes that make money for the university deserve to be paid. Yes, I'm not talking about $5,000 a week or even $500 a week, but I'm saying give these kids a couple $100 a week so that they could go take a girl to the movies. I'm talking about
the money that they bring into the program, give a small percentage to them and put it in an escrow or a trust account. And when they leave school, they have access to that money. That makes the most sense.
I don't have a problem with that. But somebody like Jared Kushner, because his father donates $2.5 million, I'm sorry, he's not adding anything to Harvard besides his father trying to buy his son into a university. And to me, that is wrong. While it is not illegal, in my opinion, it is morally wrong.
So where do you think you haven't actually seen his grades nearby? Where do you think they're actually at?
Fox News, okay?
Because if they're in the C range, C plus range, and he's got a 1050 SAT and a 25 ACT, I totally agree with you. But if there's if he's a 3.9 guy and he's got a 1350 SAT and a 30 ACT, I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have the grades right in front of me, but here's why I say his grades were not very good. Fox, forget about CNN and MSNBC. They've reported on the same story. Fox News has reported by several hosts that his grades were, quote, well below the standards of Harvard admissions. Now, if Fox News reports on something like that, I'm going to believe that it is true. Now, I'm not going to speculate and say, well, he had a C-minus average. I don't know. But when Fox News says that his grades were well below average, you're damn right I'm going to believe what they have to say. So I don't know. If I could get my hands on his SAT scores and his high school transcripts, I would gladly report them on the air. I don't know how Fox News gets that, but I
will say one more thing in his defense. Entrepreneurs tend to fail their first 3 or 4 times, but that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time, they learn from their mistakes and their business becomes very, very successful.
Yes, true. So
you have to take that into consideration. Just because he failed twice. Now, if he failed 10, 11, 12 times, but failing twice at a young age it doesn't say a ton about him and his intelligence.
We'll continue this
because
subject.
Entrepreneurs, they take 5 or 6 shots. A lot of them take 5 or 6 shots before they make it.
Yeah, well, we'll continue to talk about this. It's an interesting discussion. We do want to get to some hoops with Jamison Walsh from Drive Time Sports coming up next, and we will continue this Tucker Carlson debate in hour number 2 as well. You're listening to The Vegas Take. Be back right after this.